So in the last class, we have discussed about this present scenario of surface mining in the world, in India, and as well as the world scenario. So the coal production during the period 2009 to 10 was also discussed. Major producers are Coal India Limited, Singareni Collieries Company Limited, and mining. Lignite mining is carried out by Lignite Navali Lignite Corporation, situated in Tamil Nadu, and they have produced the lignite uh, in India for power generation. And we have also discussed about the recoverable reserves of some important minerals in India during 1970, 1995, the hematite, magnetite, iron ore deposits, bauxite deposits, copper deposits, lead zinc, dolomite, limestone, chromite, coal, and the revenue generated from mining is also discussed in the last class. And the production of some selected minerals in India by mineral groups like your non-metallic minerals, limestone, dolomite, gypsum, diamond. Then your fuel minerals like your coal, lignite, crude oil, natural gas. Metallic minerals like bauxite, chromite, copper, iron ore, manganese ore, lead zinc ore, gold ore. These things we have discussed in the last class. So presently, India is one of the world's top 10 producers of non-petroleum minerals. Except petroleum, all other minerals are produced in India. And we have discussed about the very big surface mines in India, Jayant Open Cast Project, Nigahi Open Cast Project, Dudhichia Open Cast Project, Amlori Open Cast Project, Zebra Open Cast Project, Deepika Open Cast Project, Rajmahal Open Cast Project, Piparwar Open Cast Project, Ashoka Open Cast Project, and the iron ore mines are Kudremukh Iron Ore Mine, Malajkhand Copper Mine, Rampur Agucha Zinc, Lead Zinc Mine. These are the very big mines situated in India. So we have all these things we have discussed. So almost 100% of the country's production of the minerals, other than coal or lignite, copper ore, lead and zinc ore, uranium ore, chromite, manganese ore, gold ore, steelite, and petroleum and natural comes from surface mines. So 80% of the production, mineral production, is coming from the surface mines. Okay, so whenever we are going to operate these surface mines, we have to meet some challenges. There are some challenges ahead to meet the surface mining demands. So what are the challenges? Today's class is about the challenges faced by the mining industry in terms of surface mining activities. So the main challenge to the surface mining industry of the present day as well as of the years to come is that of extracting minerals from increased depth. If the depth of occurrence of the mineral deposit is very high, then it is a great challenge for the surface mining operations, because as the depth is going down and down, the haul roads, the lead lift, the dumpers, they found very difficult to transport the material from the bottom of the pit to the surface. That is one thing. Then as the depth is increasing, the overburden volume is also increasing. Stripping ratio is increasing. So this is a great challenge of surface mining activity. So the main challenge to the surface mining industry of the present day as well as of the years to come is that of extracting minerals from increased depth while fulfilling the increasing production demand and maintaining the economy of operations. So as the depth is increasing, it is very difficult to mine the deep-seated deposit at a greater depth economically because you have to handle huge amount of overburden material. So the problems of maintaining the operational economy are further compounded with a decrease in mineral grade. If the grade of the mineral is less, then the problem becomes more, and increase in complexity of geological settings. If the deposit is very complex deposit having geological disturbances, then also it is a great challenge for the mining engineers to go for surface mining. So the average depth of currently operating surface mines in the country has been estimated at 80 meters. Currently, the Indian surface mines have gone up to 80 meters. The currently operating deepest surface coal mine is Amlori, where the deepmost working bench in Turasim has reached to a depth of 160 meters. The Amlori opencast project has been planned to be worked by surface mining up to a depth of about 300 meters. So the Amlori opencast project presently working at a depth of 160 meters, but they have planned to go up to a depth of 300 meters. The number of other surface coal mines like Giant opencast project, Dudichia opencast project, Nigahi opencast project, Jinguda in northern coalfields, Zebra in South Eastern Coalfields Limited, Sonpur Bazari in Eastern Coalfields Limited, and Gautam Khani in Singareni Collieries Company Limited have been planned up to a depth of 200 meters. Up to a depth of 200 meters. So Amluri is planned to go up to a depth of 300 meters, highest depth, whereas these mines they have planned to go up to a depth of 200 meters. Malanchkhand and Rampura Agucha mines have been planned to go to more than 200 meter depth. Malachkhand copper project, Rampura Agucha lead zinc mine, they have also planned to go up to a depth beyond 200 meter. But if you see the scenario elsewhere in the world, a number of surface mines, Rosing uranium ore mine in Namibia, iron ore mines in Ural, borax mine of Rio Tinto in California, and gold mine in Finiston, Western Australia, are operating at a depth or plan to go beyond the depth of 350 meters. In India, it is planned up to 300 meters in Amlori opencast project. But if you see the wall scenario, they have planned to go beyond 300 meter depth. And the Ekibastaz surface coal mine in Russia, they have planned to go up to a depth of 500 meters. So it is very, very deep mine. So this is a great challenge for the surface mining engineers to operate the mines at a depth of 500 meters. The world's deepest surface mine is Bingham Canyon Copper Mine in Utah, United States of America. They have reached to a depth of 670 meters. They have gone up to a depth of 670 meters by surface mining methods. So in general, the deep mines are of larger size, and with the increase in mine size, the following problems are encountered. So if you are going deeper, deep mining, then there are some problems you are going to face in surface mining. If the depth is very high, there are many problems you are going to tackle, like the problem of land acquisition and land clearance. So if you are going for greater depth, means you have to mine a big area. The lateral extent of the mine, the area of the mine will be very big. And for that purpose, you have to acquire more land. You have to acquire more land and you have to get clearance from the government to go for mining for a bigger area. So the problem of land acquisition and land clearance, though the area covered by mining leases in India is only about 0.2 to 0.25% of the country's landmass, the land acquisition is really a problem, and land clearance is also a problem for various reasons, and it is more so if forest land is there, because if the mineral deposit is lying below the surface covered by forest area, then and so if there is a forest so easily, unless you give proper justification, then only you will get the clearance to go for mining. Otherwise, it is very difficult to get the clearance from the forest department. The second problem of deep open cast mines are the problem of resettlement and rehabilitation. Resettlement and rehabilitation. You know that if the mining land, if the deposit is lying at a very big depth, then surrounding the deposit, there may be some villages are there. The villages are to be uprooted. The village people, they have to vacate the land, they have to vacate their house, they have to vacate their cultivable land. Then only you can go for mining. And this will be a great challenge for the surface mining engineers to resettle the land. Resettlement and rehabilitation of the land evacuated people, rehabilitation of the land outage is a great challenge for the mining engineers. So the mining activities are not progressed because of the resettlement and rehabilitation problem in the mining areas. So it is therefore necessary to resettle and rehabilitate the portions displaced due to acquisition of the land for mining purpose. This poses a lot of problem as such and is further enhanced if there is political interference or interference from the non-government organizations. So land acquisition is a great problem, resettlement is a great problem, rehabilitation of the land outage is a great problem in surface mines. The other problem which you are going to face in surface mines is problem of increased stripping ratio. As I have told, if the depth of occurrence of the mineral deposit is very big, then the stripping ratio will be very high. So increase in stripping ratio means increase in overburden waste rock handling. This increases the mineral production cost directly as well as indirectly. So if the cost of production will be high, then you will not get profit from the mines. Economy will be affected if the stripping ratio is very high. So and subsequent overburden waste dump planning. So this is also a great challenge in surface mines, great problem in surface mines, because in surface mines you have to handle huge amount of overburden material. Huge amount of overburden material will be uh, handled as you go deeper and deeper. Deep mining means more overburden waste rock you are going to handle. So these waste materials you have to dump somewhere. So there should be land available for dumping the waste materials, overburden materials. Not only that, wherever you are going to dump the overburden dumping the waste materials, your dumping ground, dump materials will become a hillocks. They will look like a very big hill. So these waste materials will slide downwards, and people will be affected. So slope stability, overburden dump slope stability is a great challenge in surface mines. It is a great challenge in surface mines. So it is not so easy to uh, uh, face those challenges. And you have seen that in Mahanadi Coalfields Limited MCL in Basundhara mines, 13 people were drowned because of the sliding of the rock mass, because of the sliding of the waste dump materials. 13 people were dead, drowned below the sliding rock mass, sliding waste dump materials. So that is why you have to plan, you have to organize, you have to study the geotechnical parameters of the waste dump materials so that they will remain stable for a long period of time. And you cannot make them very high. Height of the overburden dump, height of the overburden dump should not be too high so that they will fail. And angle of slope of the overburden dump materials should be designed in such a fashion that they are not going to fail. From stability point of view, factor of safety is to be taken into account while stacking the overburden materials. So this is the problem of increased generation of waste materials, overburden materials, and subsequently the dump planning is to be done. Planning of the overburden waste dump should be done properly so that the waste material is not going to fail. So with the increase in depth of working and increase in the stripping ratio, the quantity of overburden waste material that is to be handled to produce a certain quantity of mineral or ore increases at a faster rate. Proper placement of the overburden waste material in dumps, external dumps or internal dumps in case of flat or gently dipping bedded deposits calls for integrated planning and design of the overburden waste dump site. So the dump planning of the waste dump area includes the selection of the dump site, dump geometry, what should the height of the dump, what should the angle of slope of the dump, giving due consideration to the foundation competence where the dump material is dumped, whether the foundation is strong enough to withstand the pressure and the inclination and material properties like cohesion, effective friction, the likely environmental impacts, because during rainy season, the rainwater will fall on the waste materials, and if the waste material contains pyrite, sulfur, then acid mine drainage problem will be there. The hazard potential, if the waste materials they contain heavy metals, so it will be a hazard potential for the flowing water, polluting the downstream water, river water, pond water, and the overall economics of dump formation and maintenance will be increased in surface mines if you go deeper and deeper. So the major problem in surface mines is the slope stability problem. Slope stability problem in the benches. The bench will fail if you make them very high. If the bench angle is also uh, bigger, then they are also going to fall down. So slope stability study is to be carried out not only for the benches, but for the overburden waste dumps also. Stability of high wall benches and of overburden waste dumps is of major concern in case of deep surface mines. So with the increase in depth of mine workings, the height of high walls and that of internal backfills, increase of bedded deposits also increases. Therefore, to have stable slopes in surface mines, a proper slope stability planning, slope formation, and slope stabilization method is very important. The deep surface mines are likely to have large external dumps of greater height, which are more likely to develop instability. Therefore, to have safe dumps, proper planning, design, suitable formation, including zonation and slope stabilization methods, including installation of proper drainage system, are to be followed. Moreover, to assess the stability of the domes, stability of the benches, condition of the slopes, some form of continuous slope monitoring, radar system, continuous slope monitoring system need to be implemented in the surface mines. You just see, this is the bird's eye view of a surface mine slope. This is the bench. This is the top bench. This is the top bench, surface bench, top bench consisting of soils. Below that, rock benches, overburden bench. Below that, overburden bench is also there. Below that, overburden bench, and below that, your mineral bench is there, from where you are going to get the minerals. So this is the surface mine slope which is showing in this picture. So slope stability study in surface mine is carried out by taking the parameters like height of the bench. H is the height of the bench, H is the height of the bench, and these are the angle of slope of the bench, angle of slope of the bench. Then your this is the slope failure, circular failure, uh, crack in the bench, and the height and the inclined height h dash is equal to sine beta dash by sine beta, and the angle of internal friction and angle of internal friction is very important from the slope stability study point of view. And the weight of the rock mass which is acting downwards, weight of the rock mass which is acting downwards is very important for slope stability study. So for slope stability study, you need the parameters like height of the bench, angle of slope of the bench, width of the bench, the density of the rock mass, weight of the rock mass which is acting downwards, then angle of internal friction, angle of repose of the material, angle of the slope face are very much necessary for the slope stability study in surface mines. So the another problem in surface mines is the transport cost. So if the depth of surface mine is very big, then the problem of increased transport cost. The dumpers, while they transport the material from the bottom of the pit, and so the lift, the height, the lift, the inclination of the roadway, the inclination of the hull road will be very high, and therefore the trucks, the dumpers, they will consume a lot of fuel, and therefore the cost of transport will be very high if you are going for a deeper surface mining method. Not only that, the gradient of the roads will be too high for the trucks to move from the bottom of the bench to the top of the bench, and there is chance of slipping, chance of slippery of the trucks while coming from the down to the up bench. So therefore, the problem of increased transport cost is there if you are going for deep mining. So as the mines are going to be deeper, the vertical lift from the bottommost benches and the average distance of ore waste transport will be increased. So at comparatively lower depth, at comparatively lower depth, high-capacity dumpers may be used in case of shovel dumper operation to minimize the overall transport cost. However, in case of higher depth, the cost of dumper transport may become very prohibitive, and in such cases, the use of in-pit crusher conveyor system adopted. So if the depth of the mine is very high, the trucks are not able to lift the material, then you have to go for in-pit crossing and conveying system. So in the pit itself, the crusher plant will be there, where the material will be crossed to the required size, and after that they will be loaded to the conveyor, and the conveyor, high angle conveyors will be used to transport the material from the bottom of the pit to the surface. So there is another problem of deep surface mines, the problem of accumulation of noxious gases in the bottom of the bench. So if the depth is 500-meter depth, 300-meter depth, so this is a surface mine, and during your blasting, a lot of noxious gases are going to be generated, not only from the blasting, but also from the strata, methane gas, other gases will be emitted, and they will be accumulated at the bottom of the bench. They will be accumulated at the bottom of the bench, so they will not come out unless you adopt some artificial ventilation system. So in deep mines, this is a great problem of accumulation of noxious gases in the bottom of the bench. In deep mines, the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide gases produced by the diesel-operated equipments are likely to be accumulated in the bottom of the benches. In case of deep surface coal mines, there is also likelihood of accumulation of methane in the bottom of the benches. If such a condition arises, suitable artificial ventilation system measures have to be adopted to take out the noxious gases from the bottom of the pit. Otherwise, it will be a great challenge for the surface mining engineers, because the carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or methane gas will create problem if the gases are not removed from the bottom of the bench, and for that purpose you have to adopt some suitable artificial ventilation system. The other problem faced by the surface mining engineers for the deep mines is the problem of blasting vibration and ground vibration and air vibration. So the other problem you face in surface mines is ground vibration because of the blasting vibration, and air vibration, and the problem of creation of a large water body at the bottom, at the end of mining. So if the depth of mining is very high, so after the mining is over, you'll get a very big crater, you'll get a very big depressed area where large amount of water body will be accumulated during rainy season. So the problem of changes in hydrologic regime, if you are going deeper and deeper, then your highest flow level is going to change. The problem of changes in water bearing capacity of the area will be there. Hydrologic regime will be changed. So nearby the village people face problem of their wells getting dried. The other problem is problem of increased level of impacts on the physical environment, land degradation, water pollution, air pollution, ecological imbalance, flora and fauna problem during active mining life. So these are the various challenges, various problems you are going to face in deep surface mines. So recently, to take care of these challenges, a lot of development has taken place in the world with respect to surface mining activities. The challenges of economic extraction of the minerals are being met presently and have to be met in future through necessary and appropriate development. Your technological development should be there to meet the challenges of economic extraction of minerals from a greater depth. So during the last few decades, a number of technological developments have taken place in surface mining industry. The developments are in terms of improvement of conventional equipment, introduction of new equipment, introduction of new system of mining, and introduction of new technology, mining technology. So what are the conventional equipment you use in surface mines? Shovel, dumper, dragline, bucket wheel excavator, your surface miners, your reaper, dozer. These are the various type of equipments used, conventional mining equipments used in surface mining activity. So in terms of development of conventional equipment, the power and capacity have been greatly increased and improved, and advanced features have been incorporated in the heavy earth moving machineries, HEMM. Presently in India, the largest size electric shovel is being used in Piparwar open cast project of Central Coalfields Limited. So the electric rope shovels are used. Largest size electric rope shovel is used in Piparwar open cast project of Central Coalfields Limited. The 20 cubic meter shovel fitted with 25 cubic meter bucket fills the hopper of a fully mobile crusher. In the mining, nowadays people are using the mobile crusher to cross the material to the required size. The crusher can be moved from one place to other place. As the benches are moving, the crusher can also move, and the material can be crossed in the pit itself. At Amlori Opencast project of Northern Coalfields Limited, at Amlori Opencast project of Northern Coalfields Limited, and Rajmal Opencast project of Eastern Coalfields Limited, 20 cubic meter shovels are working in conjunction with 170 ton dumpers. Shovel dumper mining is carried out in Amlori Opencast project and Rajmal Opencast project. The capacity of these shovels are up to 20 cubic meter bucket capacity, and they are using the dumpers whose size is 170 ton dumpers. The use of 10 cubic meter shovel and 120 ton dumpers is being a regular feature in the country's surface mines. So wherever you go in the Indian surface mines, you'll get 10 cubic meter shovel capacity, 120 ton dumpers are being operated in most of the mines. And in some mines, people are using the hydraulic shovels of bucket capacity, 3 to 5 cubic meter size, are used in many of the surface mines. Hydraulic shovels, electric shovels, hydraulic shovels. In the case of electric rope shovels, it is operated by electrical energy, whereas in the hydraulic shovels, it is operated by fuels. It is operated by your oils hydraulically. The drag lines in India, the drag lines that are used in surface mines, Indian surface coal mines, are mainly of 24 cubic meter bucket capacity, and boom length is 96 meter. 24 cubic meter, 96 meter size drag lines are used in India. Bucket capacity is 24 cubic meter and boom length is 96 meter. And the drill machines used in dragline benches are of 300 to 325 millimeter diameter range. The drill machines which are used in surface mines in dragline mining, their diameter of the holes they can go up to 300 to 325 millimeter drill machines. In shovel benches, drill machines are having 250 millimeter dia, which is prevalent in surface mines. So, with the increase in the size and capacity of the conventional mining equipments, the modern ones also incorporate improved features that optimize their operational efficiency. So the modern day drill machines have the features like auto positioning system, auto leveling system, auto regulation of thrust and RPM, semi-automatic handling of drill rods, and automatic recording of drilling data that may be analyzed through the use of sensors and pre-programmed chips. The shovel and drag lines are fitted with systems that automatically records the equipment performance data. Some of the models of Volvo dumpers are used. Some of the models of the Volvo dumpers have independent elephant foot suspension system, which improves the performance of these dumpers to a great extent, particularly in rough conditions. Therefore, it is envisaged that the large size drag lines of 45 to 55 cubic meter bucket size with over 100 meter dumping radius, year boom length, 40 to 45 cubic meter capacity rope shovels, 10 to 15 cubic meter capacity hydraulic shovels, 850 horsepower dozers, and 240 to 320 ton dumpers will be used in some of the large size coal mines in future. These are planned for large size coal mining activity in India. Bigger size of equipments are going to be used. In an effort to increase the coal production of Zebra Open Cast project of Southeast Eastern Coalfields Limited, Southeast Coalfield Limited, Southeast Coalfield Limited to about 60 million tons per annum. They are going to produce 60 million tons annually coal from the Zebra Open Cast project, where they are going to use 62 cubic meter shovel with matching dumper capacity is under active consideration. If you see the world scenario, the large mines have increasingly switched over to higher truck sizes, 290 ton dump trucks of Komatsu and 325 ton Hitachi dump trucks, 345 ton Caterpillar dump trucks, and 370 ton Liebherr dump trucks are being used elsewhere in the world. So bigger size of heavy earth moving machineries are to be used in the surface mines to increase the production of the mines. So besides the conventional mining equipments, there are some new equipments used in the surface mines, like your surface miner. New equipments like your surface miner. The latest equipment that has been introduced in the Indian surface mining industry is the surface miner. If you are using surface miner, there is no drilling, no blasting, blast-less mining. So no ground vibration. The first surface miner was introduced in one of the limestone mines in Gujarat, Ambuja Cement Limited in the year February 1995. Since then, the number of surface miners in Indian surface mines has steadily increased, and the first surface miner in the Indian coal mine was introduced in the year 1999 in Lakhanpur Open Cast project of Mahanadi Coalfields Limited in Odisha. First surface miner in Indian coal mine was introduced in Lakhanpur Open Cast project of MCL in June 1999. So presently, most of the surface miners being used in India are of Redgen make. The Redgen GmbH company are designed these surface miners. So most of the surface miners which are used in India are manufactured by Redgen company. But only a very few are of Biteli company, and very recently in India, L&T, Larsen and Toubro, also making the surface miners, have been commissioned in some of the open cast projects of MCL and some of the limestone mines in the country. So the L&T company also is making the surface miners, manufacturing the surface miners. Though in India, surface miners are used in limestone mines, in some coal mines, but elsewhere in the world, these equipments are used also for iron ore mining and other such hard materials. In India, we are not using the surface miner for iron ore mining and hard rock mining, but in the world scenario, if you see, they are using it for iron ore mining and hard rock mining also. The surface miners are being used in a stone quarry for production of stone chips also. Therefore, it is necessary to conduct studies to assess the applicability of surface miners for iron ore mines as well as for excavation of overburden benches in coal mines in India. So a lot of study are to be conducted to find out the suitability of the surface miners for overburden removal for iron ore mining. There are some new systems developed in surface mining like a troc dispatch system, computerized troc dispatch system. In an effort to optimize the dumper performance, troc dispatch system has been introduced in few surface mines like Giant Open Cast Project of Northern Coalfields Limited, West Bokaro mine of TISCO in India. So in troc dispatch system, what is done? In this system, all dumpers serve all shovels in place of assigning a group of dumpers to a particular shovel. So the available dumper is routed to the shovel that is either kept idle for maximum time or is going to be idle first time for want of a dumper. This troc dispatch system may be fully automatic or semi-automatic system. So this computerized troc dispatch system offers the advantages of minimizing the waiting time of the dumpers, thereby improving their productivity and economizing the number of dumpers for a particular number of shovels, thereby lowering the required capital investment. So nowadays, in some of the mines, people are using the in-pit crossing and conveying system. In-pit crossing and conveying system. What is in-pit crossing and conveying system? Which offers number of advantages over conventional dumper transport system, because dumper transport system consumes a lot of fuel, lot of diesel, which is very, very costly. So to reduce the cost of transportation, conveyor system can be used. Conveyor is very cheap method of transportation which runs by electrical energy, such as high capacity, better energy utilization, lower unit transport cost you will get from the conveying system. The system may be classified into three main groups. The in-pit crossing and conveying system can be classified into three main groups: system with permanent in-pit crosser, system with relocatable in-pit crossing system, system with fully mobile crossing system. There are three modes, three in-pit crossing conveying systems are there. First system is system with permanent in-pit crosser system, relocatable in-pit crossing system, fully mobile crosser. Three systems are there. So in the system with permanent in-pit crossing system, the material from all the phases are transported to the crusher by dumper transport, and the crossed material are transported to the destination by belt conveyor system. But in the case of a relocatable crusher, in case of relocatable crushers, one crusher serves a group of phases. Here also the dumpers are used to transport the material from the phases to the particular crusher, and the crushed material is transported to the destination via belt network. So this system also offers the advantage of relocating the crusher at an interval of time, usually 3 to 7 years, depending on the movement of the working phases. The third system is mobile crushing system. In the case of fully mobile crushing system, the excavator in the face loads directly on the crusher hopper, and the dumpers are totally eliminated from the transport system. So in India, fully mobile in-pit crushing system has been installed in Pipavav Opencast project of Central Coalfields Limited for handling the coal from the lowermost coal seam. The coal is excavated and loaded by 20 cubic meter shovel fitted with 25 cubic meter bucket capacity to fully mobile crusher hopper, and the crushed coal is directly transported to the pithead washery via a belt network. So this system handles a production of about 7.5 million tons per year in Pipavav Opencast project. Recently, steep hike in diesel price. Recently, the diesel price has gone very high, which has compelled the surface mining industry to explore the applicability of non-diesel type of transport systems in the mines, particularly in case of deeper mines, because the diesel price has gone up. So you cannot use dumpers economically. So people are searching some other method of transport system like belt conveyor system, where you can use the electrical power for running the belt conveyors for transportation of the materials. And cost of, therefore, the in-pit crossing conveying system is a proven technology, very much probed and used of high angle conveyors and use of high angle conveyors so that you can take care of the vertical lift depth of the mine, and trolley wear assisted truck haulage system are other alternatives to the conventional truck haulage system. So the trolley wear assisted trucks are operating in many mines in United States of America, Canada, South Africa, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. But in India, we have not used till now. So but another problem in surface mining is extraction of developed coal seam by surface mining method is one of the challenges to the present day coal mining industry in India. Several problems are there, such as uncertain stripping ratio, dilution of coal quality, inefficient drilling and blasting, hauling of the heavy earth moving machinery to the lower bench are generally associated with this method of mining, extraction of developed coal seams. As a result, the method becomes less efficient. In case the coal is of low incubation period, then what will happen? Fire exists in the developed workings of the coal seams. The problems are further aggravated. If the coal is of low incubation period, it will catch fire. So it will further aggravate the problem in the case of a developed uh, uh, coal mining operation, developed working of coal seams. To reduce some of these problems and improve the safety of operation of the surface mining system, the system integrated blasting of benches in coal seams, parting of contiguous seams, and the last overburden bench has been experimented and adopted in some Indian surface coal mines, particularly in Wani open cast project of Western Coalfields Limited, Gautam Khani open cast project of Singareni Collieries Company Limited. They are extracting from the developed coal seams by this method of system of integrated blasting benches in the coal seams. There are some new technology adopted in the surface mines nowadays. What is the new technology people are using? Blasting is the predominant method of rock breakage in hard rock mines. A lot of improvement has taken place in recent years in the type of explosives and the blasting accessories that are used in surface mining. So in blasting, most of the present day surface mines are using site mixed emulsion explosives with the help of pump trucks with bulk loading facility. The use of non-electric initiation system are also becoming popular in surface mines. The electronic delay detonators have been developed recently, and its first trial was there in an Indian surface mine in the year 2004. These detonators permit high accuracy in delay timing, large number of delays within the range of 0 to 15,000 milliseconds, and use of centralized network bursting. Another new technology people are using the surface mines is surveying. Is an important operation in surface mines for slope monitoring of the slopes, equipment positioning, and preparation of mine plans, including that of dumps, apart from day-to-day jobs of measurement of faces, high wall benches, and dumps. So with the increase in mine size and mine depth, it assumes a greater importance. Surveying has become a great important activity in surface mines. For the surveying operations, the smart stations are gradually becoming popular and replacing traditional surveying methods. So here your GPS and global positioning system and total station are combined together to give you a smart station. So monitoring of the slope is very important to assess the slope stability problem in the surface mines. The slope monitoring radars are nowadays used. Slope monitoring is important from the point of view of maintaining a safe working condition for both man and machine. And it will also provide advanced and accurate information about any impending slope failure, and to also provide such information that the failure mechanism may be understood. And the appropriate remedial measures, mitigating measures may be adopted by the mining people. So the various slope monitoring techniques that are available may be classified into 2 main categories: observational techniques, instrumental techniques. The observational techniques include terrestrial surveying, electronic distance measurement, and automatic surveillance and surveying with global positioning system GPS. The instrumentation techniques include use of movement indicators, convergence meters, strain meters, joint meters, extensometers, inclinometers, reflectometers, etc. So however, the most effective slope monitoring system is through microseismic applications. In this system, network of geophones is used to detect the enhanced microseismic activities that may take place in the event of the slope becomes stressed. This is a continuous monitoring system and can provide both the visible and audible alarm systems. So finally, let us conclude this by saying after a purposeful thrust towards surface mining, which was given in the year 1970, the mineral production from surface mines in India has increased manifold. This is true for coal mines as well as for non-coal minerals. So with the increase in mineral demand and depletion of shallower and higher grade minerals, the present day mining industry is compelled to extract ore bodies of poorer grades from higher depths and from more complex geological settings. So to maintain the economy of operation, the mine size is being increased to take the advantages of scale of operation. Larger size equipment are being deployed in order to reduce the unit operation cost. New equipments being introduced to minimize, reduce the costs of different unit operations, and new technologies are being adopted in order to improve the system efficiency and improve the safety conditions. So this is the concluding remark about the uh, lecture which I delivered for last 2 days. Thank you. Thank you for your patient hearing. Thank you. Have a
Thank you,
good
sir.
day. Thank you. Thank you.